One ornament made $25,000 in just 2 months. Same shop, same me, one listing. There it is, $29, 862 sales. Just under $25,000 in revenue, and the majority of those sales happened in just November and December of last year. I'm not showing you that number to impress you. I'm showing it to you because I can explain every single reason why it worked. One at a time. And none of those reasons are luck. It was a set of decisions, and you can make those decisions before this year's Q4 starts. Here's why I want you to stay with me. Even if you've never sold an ornament and you never plan to. Q4 is not a normal quarter. For many shops, those 10 weeks of the year outperform the other 42 combined, which means the decisions that you make in August and September are worth more than any decision you make in March. And most sellers will walk into that quarter with the wrong type of product. They add something Christmassy in October, they add red and green to a product they already have, and then they sit there refreshing their dashboard, wondering why nothing is moving. The shops that win in Q4 aren't the ones that have the most holiday listings. They're the ones with one product that a person feels like they have to buy, not for themselves, but for someone else. That's the whole difference. And ornaments can be that product. They're small, they're cheap to ship, and they can be print on demand. So you're not making and packaging anything. And here's the part people miss. They're priced like a gift, not a decoration. Nobody blinks an eye at $29 for something that's going on the tree for the next 40 years. But I need to tell you why I didn't sell any ornaments for the first few years, because it really matters. I avoided ornaments. Genuinely avoided them. Every time I ordered samples, I got the same result back. Reds that looked pink, prints that were slightly off-centered so the entire design looks crooked on the round ornament, a cloudy, streaky finish on the glaze that didn't print right. And ornaments are keepsakes. People are buying them for engagements, for weddings, for first birthdays. If it shows up looking cheap, that's not a good experience. That's a 1-star review with a photo attached, and that photo lives on your listing forever. So I sat it out for years. And looking back now, that was the more expensive decision. I was so focused on avoiding a bad review that I skipped out on a product that was worth more than I realized. So last year, Swift POD from Printify came out with an ornament with using a new printing method. And I ordered samples. And they gave me the most consistent print quality by a wide margin. The coloring came out right, the centering was right, and it stayed consistent over hundreds of orders. Now, I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I don't get any payback for mentioning them. I just want to share my experience. There was some mishaps. There was some refunds. You're going to get that with any print-on-demand product, especially when you're going at that volume. But overall, 99% of the orders were flawless. One good sample doesn't really mean much, but consistency over hundreds of orders is what really matters. Before I break the listing itself down, if you're sitting there thinking your shop is not ready for Q4 yet, my 30-day Etsy growth plan is what I would point you to. It's the exact day-by-day sequence that I would run on a shop that needs to get ready before the holiday season hits. Listings, photos, SEO, all of it. In the order I'd actually do it. Links in the description. Go grab it. Okay, why this specific ornament worked. 1, it marked a life moment, not a holiday. The design says the couple's name, engaged, and then the year. That's it. It isn't a cute Christmas ornament. It's a record of the single biggest thing that happened to that couple all year long. And that distinction is everything. Because a cute Christmas ornament competes with every other cute Christmas ornament on Etsy, both in design and price. People aren't shopping for a decoration. They're shopping for a sentimental gift. 2, it was personalized. Their names and the year. The second you put someone's name on it, 2 things happen. It stops being a product and becomes a keepsake. And it stops being comparable to anything generic in the search results. Nobody price shops a keepsake with their own name on it. 3. The font was on trend. I know that sounds small, but it isn't. Fonts data product faster than anything else on the design. And a customer clocks that in about half a second without even knowing what they're reacting to. The wrong font makes a beautiful design look like it came off a clip art site in 2014. The right font looks like something they saw and loved on Instagram last week. Go look at what fonts are actually selling right now. Success leaves clues, and let that tell you what's current. 4. It was giftable. This is the multiplier. The ornament wasn't only bought by engaged couples. It was bought by mothers, sisters, best friends, and coworkers. Every product that someone else can buy for you has a buyer pool several times larger than a product that only the owner would purchase. If you take only one thing from this video, make it that one question. Who else would buy this item for them? Now the photo, because the photo is doing more work here than the actual design is. Look at how it's cropped. The ornament fills almost the entire frame, barely any styling and no big scene around it. That is deliberate, and here's why it matters. Nobody is seeing your listing photo at full size. They're seeing it as a thumbnail in a grid with dozens of other thumbnails while scrolling. If your ornament is a small object floating inside a beautiful styled photo, it disappears at that size. All the customer sees is a blur. Crop in until the product takes up most of the image space. Now the design is readable at thumbnail size. The name is readable. The customer can tell in a fraction of a second what the design says and who it's for. Every extra inch of background you leave in is space you're not using to sell. And I offered it in only 5 colors: red, black, blue, pink, and green. Not 15, 5. When you give someone 20 variations, you're handing them a decision they didn't ask to make. And decisions are where sales die. 5 is a curated choice. 20 reads as work. And here's the part I want you to hear, because it's the actual lesson. Red outsold the other 4 by a mile. It wasn't even close. And when that became clear, I used the red as the main thumbnail image. So don't agonize over your color choices. Choose the obvious one, the one people already picture in their heads, and put the other few choices there for the odd person that wants something different. It wasn't the only one that worked either. Bridesmaids ornaments, a first-year married ornament, a first birthday ornament, all worked well. Look at that list and you'll see a pattern immediately. Every single one is a moment, not a holiday. That's the formula, and it's repeatable. So, how do you do this in a shop that doesn't sell ornaments at all? You match your theme, not the category. My shop wasn't an ornament shop. It was built around weddings and celebrations, and it belonged there completely. Same customer, same moment in her life, same occasion, just a different object. It didn't confuse anything at all. Ask yourself what moment your existing customer is already in. If you sell baby items, that's a first Christmas ornament. Pet products, that's a new pet or a pet that has passed away. Weddings, engagements, first years, married. You're not adding a new product line. You're giving your existing customer one more way to keep the moment they've already came to you for. Here's what I'd do between now and October. Pick one moment your shop already speaks to. Order samples from a provider that you've actually vetted for print quality, and order early enough that you can switch if they let you down. Use a current font, personalize it, crop the mock-up in tight, get it listed by early September so it has time to gather sales and reviews before the actual traffic hits. One listing done properly months before you need it. That's how one $29 item turns into a quarter you don't forget. If this is the kind of breakdown you want more of, hit subscribe. There's more coming before Q4 gets here. I'll see you in the next one.